Hi leaders, welcome to our leadership training. This is week 2. My name is Ruth Shrauner and I'm excited to get going with you guys. As you are hopping on right now, I want you to chat into the YouTube thread and I want to know your why. I want to know your why for getting to that next level in Beachbody, why to put your foot on the pedal now and to kick it up a notch. So I want to know who I'm talking to and I want to know why take this business the next step further? So go ahead and chat that in now. I've got my second monitor over here. I'm creeping on you guys. So chat in your whys, and I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to hop on, and I'm going to introduce myself, and then we are going to get going. All right. Here we go. I see you guys popping up. All right. I'm excited to do this. I'm going to start by introducing myself and tell you a little bit about who I am and how I've grown my team in Beachbody. So we're going to get into the nitty-gritty tonight of leadership. What is leadership and how to lead your team to that next level as a team, as a community, and the strategic steps to do it. So hopefully by the end of this, you not only have action steps to take, but you have a strategy to implement these things into your business in order to help you get to that next level in your business, that Star Diamond, Elite, Premier, whatever your goals are. So chat those in. Yay, I see them coming in. So who am I? I started coaching in July of 2014. So I'm relatively new to this business. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm absolutely honored to be invited to speak as one of the trainers on this call. I started in July of 2014, and I started like anyone else, scared, skeptical. I thought all of this was a gimmick. I thought it was a scheme, and I asked my coach if I could cancel anytime. At the time, though, I really needed to change my life. I hated my body. I hated who I was. I hated my career, and my husband and I were in $245,000 of student loan debt. So I needed to change. With that being said, I came in to work from day one, but I started with my health and fitness. I started by transforming my body, and I have built my entire business on my own story in terms of my health and self-love and that platform. And that's how I have authentically grown from day one. Fitness is our business. So although I'm going to be talking about leadership tonight and growing your team and team strategy, I want you to know that the basis of all of this is fitness. It is you continually sharing your journey in your health and fitness, and also helping your coaches understand the importance of that and staying in that realm of this is a health and fitness business, and we help people change their lives through our programs and challenge groups. So I came in and I followed the process. The reason I am where I am today, which I'll share where I'm at in just a moment, is because I follow the processes successful people teach me. I am the best person at taking direction and not just listening to a call like you're on tonight, but applying it. So I'm going to ask you guys to do yourselves a favor. I want you to look at that why you guys have talked about on the thread. And I want you to think about quitting your full-time job, financial freedom, having your life for your own, vacations. I want you to think about all these things, your kids, your families. I want you to think about that. And the next few weeks, as you're going through these trainings, don't waste it. I'm challenging you all to apply what we are telling you because it works. We know it works because not only has it worked in our own business, but it's worked for other coaches on our team, multiple other coaches on our team as well. So I'm challenging you to look at that why tonight and realize that you are worth it. Your why is worth it. Your family is worth it. And when you get scared, when you get uncomfortable applying these new concepts that we're gonna tell you to do, I want you to know it's okay. Because we all felt uncomfortable. We all felt scared. We all were sitting right where you were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, questioning, are we enough? But you are enough. You are absolutely enough. You have everything you need to build the life, the business of your dreams. You just have to use it. So I'm challenging you guys to step up and to use this information, and don't let this just be a video call. Let it be something that changes your business. You have that power, and only you can do that. So backing up a little bit, I came into this ready to work. I followed every process that any coach has ever told me to follow. In most of those processes, I doubted in the beginning, or I looked at the process and I said, well, that's Melanie Mitro. I can't do what Melanie Mitro does. I'm not Melanie Mitro. That's Brandy Botts. I'm not Brandy Botts. How am I supposed to do that? I did that. That was my first reaction to so many trainings like the one that you are on. But I chose to silence that voice and say, why not me? And I followed the systems that these other coaches have paved the way for us. They've made it so easy, guys. They have made it so easy for us to duplicate this. And in doing that, I have built a very successful business. My first year as a coach, my first full year, I earned 6 figures, and it's been doubling ever since. Currently, my team is ranked number 4 in the company. I have 6 personally sponsored diamonds who are qualifying right now for Star Diamond rank advancement. I'm a 9-star diamond currently, qualifying for 15-star in my first business center, 2-star in my second business, qualifying for 3-star in my second business center. And then I'm also qualifying for 1-star in my other business center. So I am in the trenches with you guys in terms of leading your team and building your team. And I am right there with you, going through it all. And I still have days when I sit back and say, what am I doing? I'm failing. Am I enough? I'm not good enough. How am I ever going to accomplish that? Right? So I understand how some of you feel, because I'm literally going through that with you. So I hope that you can trust me in this, and I hope that you can trust the advice I'm going to give you tonight. And I'm going to challenge some of you to rise. Maybe you are on here as a brand new diamond, and you're still like figuring out how to check your sponsorship to drill down, and how to, how to even duplicate diamond to the next level. And I might challenge you a little bit to rise to the next level tonight. And I hope that I do. And I hope you realize that you can do that. So this evening, I'm going to talk to you about creating that team vision, leadership, and then a strategic plan to help you move forward. And let me share my screen here. And we'll start rocking through this. I'm going to be sharing with you, some of my story as well. Let's see if this is sharing. All right. But before I do this, I also want to remind all of you right now, no matter your rank, no matter your goal, you have to stay in phase 1 always. So make sure you are always staying in phase 1. Your business comes first, or you have no business, right? If you are not doing the vital behaviors yourself, if you are not getting to Success Club yourself, if you are not sponsoring new business coaches yourself, then you don't have a business to then go and lead your team on how to build a business. You have to always come first. The next thing I am going to cover very quickly, management versus leadership. And I want to tell you the difference in how it feels. What does management feel like? How do you know if you're managing? Because I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand if they're managing. They don't think they're managing, but in hindsight, they come back, they're like, oh, I'm definitely managing. What does management feel like? Have you guys ever been sitting there and you're like, oh man, I just wish Sally would get to Emerald, or I wish Sally would hit Success Club, or what is Susie doing today? That's management. That's how management feels. How am I going to get Sally to get to Emerald or Diamond? Or how am I going to get Susie to get to Diamond next? That's management. That's management. That's you trying to control other people. And that is going to make your life very stressful. Very stressful if you're trying to figure out the next thing to say or to do or to train on in order to get 1 or 2 people, to the next rank so you can get to wherever you want. That is management. Leadership feels very different. And I can tell you this because I have been on both sides of the realm, and I still have to check myself. And I still have to say, Ruth, you're managing and you need to lead. You need to go work your business and get in the zone, because that energy is going to project to your entire team. Leadership feels like you're running, you're going, and you're simply sharing that experience with your team and sharing the successful tips, tricks, or trainings you have with them. You're not hovering, you're not wondering, you're not hoping that Sally and Susie are going to do something, because you're zoned in on your business and leading them while you are zoned on your business, as opposed to pulling them, dragging them along, trying to make them get there. And if you're leading, you're showing those tips and tricks, and you're still building your business. So you are funneling in new challengers and new coaches and new blood all the time to keep you energized and keep you excited, because you have not just stopped and rested on your team of 8 coaches and 2 emeralds and said, this is my team forever. Instead, you are consistently bringing in new blood to bring into your tribe and to grow. And so you continue to have those fresh faces instead of, dragging people when people decide they don't want to work as hard, or they don't want what they told you they wanted in the first place. Those are the difference. So always stay in phase 1, because if you're staying in phase 1, you're going to do a whole lot more leading instead of managing. All right, so we're going to talk about getting to Star Diamond, to Premier, to Elite. And I'm going to share a little bit about my journey with you through this, so you see how it's played out in my business, because this is what I think an imperative part of you developing to the next level as a leader. So creating a team vision. And but before I get into this, creating a team vision does not mean you go and create your own team and team training and you spend all your time doing all this team stuff and building your own tribe, right? They talked about this last week. So I don't want you to get the two confused, all right? Creating a team vision, we'll talk about communicating it later for the level that you are at. But in your mind, why do you want to be a Star Diamond coach? Why do you want to be a Premier coach or an Elite coach? What does that mean to you? Team. And when you think about that, what does your team vibe look like? Why is this important? What kind of team and community and culture do you want? And how is this going to impact your life? But more importantly, the lives of the coaches on your team. How is this going to impact them? I want you guys to start thinking bigger in terms of what's your team mission? What is that mission of your team that you lead with, and that your entire team knows that they're there serving this purpose in the lives of others? What is that for you? And you don't need to go create some huge PowerPoint about this or like make a huge brand or a logo or anything like that. But I want you to start thinking about these things and how it applies to you and your business. And I'm going to share how this kind of transpired in my business. I came into this business and I didn't ever want to be part of multi-level marketing, especially a shake company. Ever. I'm from a very, very small town, and I never wanted anything to do with all those shake people that kept offering me shakes. They were not Beachbody shakes, by the way. But when I heard about this, and I already loved Insanity, I could not pass it up because I loved Insanity. I was literally telling people to do Insanity 6 years ago before I got married. I have a message. I told someone to go buy Insanity because it's amazing. So when I found out about this opportunity, it was just too perfect for me to not dive into. And fast forward 5 months into my business, and I am now a diamond coach, and I have a downline, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 coaches on my team. And it dawns on me at this point that I also have multiple coaches on my team who are from the same small town as me. And now, not only am I part of a company that sells shakes, and I'm asking people from my small town to join, but I am leading those small town people as their team leader. And it made me panic because I didn't want to bring people into this business unless they were going to succeed. I wanted to be the small town girl who brought her small town girlfriends into this and help them rise and help them leave their jobs and help them be stay-at-home moms and help them build six-figure businesses. So it was on that day that I freaked out, but I also decided what I wanted as a leader. And this has impacted every choice I've made ever since then. I decided that I wanted to lead other men and women to create successful businesses. You guys, at the time, I didn't even have a successful business. I was like 5 months in. Who was I to think I could do anything? I didn't have a successful business at the time. I was just a diamond coach just getting started. But I knew, well, I brought people into this. How was I going to help them succeed too? And so my wheels started turning from that day. How was I going to lead my team? How was I going to help them grow? How was I going to inspire them? How was I going to help them duplicate what I have done? How was I going to be that person and show up for them? So for me, the responsibility changed on that day. It wasn't about being diamond. It wasn't about being star diamond. It wasn't about being elite even. It was about helping other people change their life with this business. And you have to decide what star diamond, what premier, or what elite means to you on a deeper level. Because I promise you this, that getting a jacket or a tank top for star diamond isn't going to help you push through on those dark days, because this isn't always a cakewalk, guys. You have to decide what you want in order to show up when it's hard, in order to show up and make things happen when you think you're failing, and when it's easier to literally cry on the couch, right? You have to show up anyways. And for me, it was about the people on my team. So from that day forward, I decided I'm going to do this, and I'm not just going to do it little. I'm going big. I'm going very big. So I created kind of that vision in my mind. I didn't do anything with it for a while. So just so you know, if you're like, I just got to diamond, whoa, what am I supposed to do with this idea? I sat on that idea for 4 months. I sat on that idea not knowing what to do with it for 4 months, fearing it, scared of how I was going to lead. But I sat on that idea, and I knew in my heart it's what I wanted to do. And I started, just showing up in my uplines team page. I did everything in my uplines team page until I was 5-star plus diamond coach. I piggybacked on all of her stuff, her team trainings, her emerald trainings, her diamond trainings, all of her team trainings I piggybacked on until I was a 5-star diamond plus coach. Okay, so hear that, please, and know you do not need to go create all that stuff by yourself. And if you do that, you're going the wrong direction. But what I did start doing in my personally sponsored page was I started just speaking about my vision and my success and what I wanted. Okay, and so here's how this played out for me. So and I'm going to talk about different levels here in just a minute, so no one panic if you don't have a PS page, and don't go make one, because you don't necessarily need one depending on your point in this business yet. But I had my PS coach page. It was actually all downline. So I had my entire downline page at the time in November, but there wasn't a lot of action happening in there. There wasn't like people, showing up consistently. It was pretty much me talking to me a lot of the time. And, that always freaked me out. And I was always like talking to my coach, like, no one is commenting, no one cares, but I'd show up anyways. And in the beginning, when I started posting my team page, I wasn't posting tips and tricks or trainings, to be honest. I took this one from my coach's playbook in terms of motivation, inspiration. So in my mind, people have all the training they need on YouTube and New Coach Basics and every training that's ever offered, and there's like a million of them. They have all the training. What they need is they need you to inspire them. They need you to motivate them. They need you to show them what they're showing up for every day when they don't know it yet. So as a new coach, in my PS downline team page, I just shared my coach journey with them. I would share what I was going through, and I still pretty much do the same thing. Was I having a good day? Was I having a bad day? Did I just get an awesome paycheck that I never expected to get? I would just share that with them. I showed them the results of my business more than anything else. because I was a brand new coach and I was shocked at what this business was providing me. I was shocked I was paying off my credit card debt. I was shocked my husband and I weren't fighting about money anymore. So I shared the changes that were happening in my life. I showed them what to fight for. I showed them why to show up every single day. And that's how I handled my team page, really from November up until March. And I want to tell you what happened and why I totally believe in vision. And so I showed them up until March, and then I changed things in March. And I communicated my vision with my team. So in March, I had been a coach for 8 months, I believe. And I had, a great base of coaches that were feeding off the energy I was bringing to the team page because I was talking about my vital behaviors and the result of doing them every day. And at the time, I think I was number 24 in the company in February, my first year as a coach. So like 7-8 months into coaching, which was a total fluke, to be honest. It was pure passion, pure energy, pure like heart and hustle. That was it. I was working my butt off and I was communicating with passion. That was it. And I had decided after listening to You Are a Badass that I wanted to do a top 10 push. And now looking back at this, I think it's pretty much the craziest thing I've ever done. Because at the time I didn't even realize how stupid I was just like so blatantly blind to everything. I had no idea what I was doing. And so I've learned so much since then. And looking back at my young coach self and seeing me go after these goals, like I encourage all of you to go after stupid, huge goals, because it's the best thing I ever did for my business is go after these stupidly big goals. And so in March, I brought my team together because when you have a vision for your team, you have to share it. You have to share that vision. It's one of the biggest and most important steps of building your team and building to the next level, because your rank in this business, elite, premier, it's not about you. It isn't about you. It's about the coaches you bring into this. And so in March, I decided, you know what, why not just try for top 10? Let's see what happens. And I asked my coaches to join me on a team call. And what you need to know is I didn't have consistent team calls at this point. I didn't even have team calls. I was still piggybacking on my coaches' team calls, but I hosted my own sporadically. I'd have one every other week, maybe, or whenever I got the courage. It was literally whenever I got the courage, I'd host a team call. So I knew I needed to talk to him about this goal. And so I made a post saying I have a big surprise, a huge announcement. I want everyone on this team call that I'm hosting and to be there. And I told them to bring their big, scary goals for this business and their why. So I told them ahead of time to bring those things. We were going to discuss them. Going into this call, I just want you guys to know exactly how I felt, because I felt terrified. It was scary. It was the scariest thing I'd ever done as a new coach, as a new leader. I wanted to get sick. I was sweating. I thought I needed the trash can to get sick in. It was terrifying. I had maybe 15 people on this call, you guys. This was my entire downline. I had maybe 15 coaches on this call. Maybe 15. My entire downline. I was still a diamond coach. And I asked them each to share. They each shared. And then I shared my vision, which I just shared with you, about helping other people quit their jobs. I had just quit my job, helping people be stay-at-home moms, helping people build 6 figures. I also told them that when I looked at them and I looked at their potential, I saw top 10 coaches. I saw women who were capable of being top 10 coaches. And I said, who was I to tell them that and never try to do it for myself and never show them how to do it as their leader? And so I told them what top 10 meant to me. And it was moms staying home, people earning 6 figures, people growing their business. And it was also because I saw that potential in them. I wanted to show them the way, and I wanted them to then do that same behavior, to have that same success later on. And they rallied with me. And it was 100% the scariest thing that I've ever done. But I truly, to this day, believe this is the most important part of your business when you're ready to take it to the next level. So for some of you, you might be starting out and you might be a new diamond. And maybe you only have one business worker because your other person's the emerald. So you know what? Your call might look a little bit different. But the point of it is that your coaches need to see the faith that you have in this business structure, Beachbody as a business, and the faith that you have in them and yourself. All of those things are so important because when you rise up with a big, scary goal, no matter how crazy you sound, they're going to be like, whoa, if you think you can do that, then maybe I can do this too. Maybe I can get to Ruby. Maybe I can get to Diamond. Maybe I can get to Star Diamond. But you lead the way with your goals and with your vision. Your coaches, I kind of truly believe this, whatever goal you set for yourself, your coaches who are runners and workers, they might meet you at 75%. Your hobby coaches might meet you at 50%. Okay? So your goal for yourself is going to trickle down into your entire downline. And no matter where you are in your business, whether you have that one working coach, maybe just you and her are going to powwow about what you really want, or maybe you have 3 or 4 working coaches, and you're going to bring those people together and you're going to share with them your big scary dreams, and then you're going to ask them theirs or vice versa, and then you're going to show them how to do it and you're going to lead them, and we'll talk about that strategy next. This is huge and this is important. So after that happened, the team rallied. Actually, my first summit I ever attended, I attended as number 13 in the company. We ended the year at number 20. Did we fail? Yeah, we failed. But it was the best failure ever, and I will never, ever regret making that huge, scary, terrifying goal because it forever changed me, my team, and my business. So set those scary goals. I also want to tell you what happens when you set no goals for yourself and when you have no vision for your team. Because once we came into 2016, so last year, I decided this was my year to hang out with my husband, who I hadn't seen in 8 years because of his residency. And I had no goals last year. Like, it's so pitiful and so sad, but it's also true. I had no goals. Thankfully, I am a worker, so I still showed up every day. You better believe I worked my butt off still, but I wasn't pushing towards any goals. I didn't ever tell my team my vision for 2016. I didn't set any team goals for 2016. I was just thinking if I showed up and I worked the business, other people would too. And they did, and my team did well. And we ended, I think, at 23 last year in the company. But I saw my teammates stall out, and I take full responsibility for this as their leader because I did not set my own goals, so they had no example to follow. Why would they push for big things if I wasn't willing to push for big things? It's 100% my fault that my coaches didn't rise last year. 100%. And I honestly wouldn't have known that until this year when I decided to change. So coming back into this year, I set massive goals with my team. I told my team we were going to be in the top 5. We were going to be number 1. Like I told them we were going for it. I just set the bar even higher. And then I showed them how to do it. And in doing that, my entire team has rallied. It's been insane to see how many coaches have hit diamond this year already in my downline, how many coaches are qualifying or have already hit team leader star diamond. It's just insane to see that your goals and your passion for them is in my mind, one of the biggest factors of success, period. When you follow it with action, which we're going to talk about next. Okay. So it sounds so soft. I know everything that I told you just sounds so soft, and I wouldn't probably have even believed it had I not had 2016 where I had no goals. And then this year coming back with these massive, stupid goals. I wouldn't have believed it. But since I've been on every single side of it, I know the impact you have on your team with your own goals and your own leadership and communicating those. So what I want you to do, first off, is to communicate your big, scary goals with your team, no matter how big or how small. And this might look different for all of you. Some of you might have just small little baby teams, like I already said, and some of you might have huge teams. But communicating this goal has to be your first step in terms of you taking your business to the next level. Okay, so that's your first step. You're going to think about your team vision. Why do you want to be Star Diamond? How does it impact your team? What's your team mission? What's your team look like, feel like? Then you're going to think about your goals and your why. And you're going to have that either team call or maybe it's a powwow because you only have a few people working right now, and that is okay. How cool would it be if you and those few people took it to the next level this year? Like, how amazing would that be if you and that new coach went premier or elite together? Why not you? So figure out those big goals and share them with your entire team. Now, I'm going to get into the strategy piece of this, you guys. So I'm going to get super real with you and talk game plan, talk strategy, talk how to get there, right? When my coaches, tell me that they have these big, scary goals, I take that responsibility upon myself. It's not like they just told me a goal and I'm like, oh, cool, there's their goal. Like, put it on a piece of paper and shove it under, the coffee table or whatever. I take it seriously. I want to see these people become stay-at-home moms, earn that 6 figures. Whatever it is that they've told me that they want, I want to help them get that. I take it very, very seriously. It is now my responsibility as their leader to show them, right? To show them, because I can't really help them. I can only show them the way, which we'll talk about, how to do that. But if your next steps are Star Diamond, I want you to get a Star Diamond game plan. And hopefully you already have this. But if you are working towards 1 Star Diamond or 2 Star Diamond, all right, we're going to say 2 star, because if you are here to earn, that next level in the pay bracket, your income changes at 2 Star Diamond. Your income changes significantly in my mind at 2 Star Diamond if you continue working the business. So you have to create a Star Diamond game plan. Remember when you guys were going for Diamond and you had your Diamond chart, and on that Diamond chart, you had, your 8 spots that you needed to have with active coaches, 4 on your left, 4 on your right, and then you knew that you needed an emerald on each leg. And when you made that Diamond sheet, you thought to yourself, who are my emerald coaches? Who's actually going to get to emerald and work this business with me? Who's going to show up and show me? In that same respect, you have to do the same thing for Star Diamond. Star Diamond isn't going to pop out of thin air, and it's definitely not going to pop out of thin air if you are not helping your coaches set those goals and talking to them about what they want. So the first thing you need to think about are, who are your working coaches? Who are your working coaches? I want you guys to think about this. If you don't know what this means, I want you to go look at your sponsorship drill down from last month, and I want you to see how many of your coaches had at least 1 Success Club point. In my mind, those people who had 1 Success Club point are your hobby coaches. Then I want you to look at your sponsorship drill down and look for coaches who hit Success Club last month. Those are your working coaches. Those are the coaches who are walking the walk. Do not panic if you don't have any of those things. We'll talk about that as well. Okay? But you have to have those working coaches for your Star Diamond game plan. You have to know who's going to show up, and hitting Success Club is the very first piece of showing up to build their business. From those coaches who are hitting Success Club, what are their goals, you guys? What are their goals in life? Okay? In life. What do they want from this business? What is their why? Do they also, want to be a stay-at-home mom, or do they want to leave their job? Or maybe they're just trying to get $1,000 a month extra to go on a family vacation. I want you to know their goals and, more importantly, their why for their goals, right? So what is their why? And help them see how their goals connect to that why. So if they want to earn $1,000 a month, diamond is their first step. Letting them know, well, assuming they're emerald, letting them know, all right, you told me you want to earn $1,000 a month. Diamond is your next step to do that. Have you thought about diamond yet? Have you thought about when you're going to get to diamond? And asking them, truly asking them, what is your diamond date? After you've had this, as long as it's one of their goals. If their goal is not to get to diamond, do not push it on them, okay? Do not push that goal on them. It needs to be their choice. It's their business. They are their own CEO. But assuming their goal is to get to diamond, you need to know their diamond date. You need to talk it through with them. You need to talk about, one, the next steps on how they are going to get there, helping them create their diamond roadmap and picking out their emerald coaches, helping them see, okay, well, you have this worker on your left leg and you have this worker on your right leg. So these are two great emerald options, but we need to also continue recruiting other emerald options as well, because we all know people don't always continue working the business like they told you that they wanted to. So what are your emerald's diamond dates? And helping them create that date, and also create that date with urgency. It is a whole lot faster to build a whole lot faster to build the diamond quickly than to walk through it slowly. So what are their diamond dates? When you talk about this, again, look at their diamond roadmap with them. Talk about their emerald potentials with them one-on-one to help them grow. Then, if they are ready for this, and this is actually, Brandy taught me this year. I mean, I am still learning so much from all these people. Doing small group calls with them, and maybe it's you and your upline, okay? So like for me, I'm working with some of my diamonds, and I do calls with my diamonds and their downline to help them get to Star Diamond. Some of my emerald coaches right now, I'll get on a call with them and their working coaches to help them get to diamond. So see where you're at in your business, and maybe you need help from your upline, right? To get to that next level, talk to them about what would work well with them in terms of that guidance as well. So you have to set that game plan. If you just look at your downline and say, Sally and Sue are emerald, and I hope that they get to diamond by Summit so I can go to Summit to start qualifying, guys, that's just not good enough. Unless Sally and Sue know what their own goals and what their own why is and how that connects to diamond, Sally and Sue are just going to have fun playing around in challenge groups. You set the urgency, you set the intention, you set the vision for your team. So go set it for them. Help them see what they're capable of, and then help them strategize their diamond date. So I am showing you a 5-star roadmap, but that's because I couldn't find a 2-star one. So assuming that you are shooting for 2-star, then I will also post this in our page, but you need to think of it in the same way. So kind of what I just said, use this as a visual. How are you going to use this to get to 2-star? Your goal might not be 5 yet. That's totally fine. Ignore the other coaches on there. But what I would recommend is, make sure you are working with a variety of coaches. Do not just decide you have your 2 potential diamonds and you are done sponsoring new coaches, because Sally and Sue want to get to diamond and they told you they want to get to diamond. So that means they're going to get to diamond. So you're 2-star diamond, because that's just not how it works, you guys. I wish it worked like that. It sure doesn't work like that. So although Sally and Sue might have told you some awesome dates and some really great intentions of when they want to get to diamond, don't ever rest on that. Our job isn't to keep this opportunity to ourselves. I know that there are thousands of other women out there like me who were fighting with their husband every single day about income, who hated their jobs, who hated their life. So it's awesome that Sally and Sue want to get to diamond, but what about the other Ruth out there who needs her life to change? This isn't about you and 2-star. Let's always remember that. This isn't about you and 2-star or 5-star. This is about the other people out there who don't know about Beachbody yet, who haven't had the opportunity to change their life. So while you're waiting on Sally and Sue and hoping they get to Diamond and leading them to it, you go and you find the Ruths who hate their life and you tell them about this opportunity too. You don't just wait. Okay? All right, good. All right. So we are going to talk about duplication within your downline. In terms of the things I see people doing or not doing that could really hinder their business or move it forward, okay? So first off, this was also taught last week, and I'm going to say it again because this is super important. Show up in your uplines team page. If you are just starting and you don't have a team page and you don't have a brand and you don't have this culture, guess what? That's okay. That is okay. Again, I was at five-star Diamond before I really went all in to my own team page. Don't try and do this alone. Okay. If you are creating training, if you are, doing all this stuff by yourself, you are doing it wrong. You are doing it wrong if you are creating trainings and creating all this stuff that you don't need, because you don't need it, you guys. And I can honestly say that because I am the worst at training and creating training. But I have had super success in this business because I use the training that's already available and I duplicate that in my downline. That's all I do. So show up and lead in your uplines team page. Just like I said last week, this establishes you as a leader. This establishes you as a leader. And actually today I saw this. I saw this today in my own downline. I have a coach who is building to Diamond. She's an Emerald. She's a new coach. She went live in my downline today, and she literally just shared kind of how she was struggling, and how she just needed to get back in it. And you know what? She's just got to make the time. She went live and she shared that. And it was so cool to see the response on that, because she has a downline coach who just started working the business. And I've actually already reached out to this downline coach to talk to her because I know that she's in this to build a business. So I know it's her Emerald potential. And I reached out to her Emerald potential and I welcomed her to the team, asked how she was doing. She ignored me because she doesn't care about Ruth Shrauner. She doesn't know me, but she saw her upline leading in my team page. And she commented on that. And she said, "You're right. I need to do this with you." It's the prime example of why it's so important for you to lead. And you don't need to have your own team page to lead. Do it with the entire team, because it's so true. We are better together. Because just like everyone says, sometimes I say things and people don't hear it until they hear Brandy Bot say it. And then Brandy Bot says it, and now everyone believes it. And I'm like, yeah, I've been saying that. Okay. But that's just the reality of the business. That's how it works. We just have to hear it from people with different experiences and different backgrounds and in different ways. So that is why I encourage all of you to get involved in your uplines team page and share. You have value, share it there, because it's not only going to help your team grow, it's going to help your coaches, and it's going to help the other coaches who you are working with right now to get to Diamond in your own downline, and on your own team. So show up there. Additionally, I will say this till I'm blue in the face, because honestly, I'm horrible at training and providing training, and I can't believe I even have a PowerPoint right now. Share your authentic coach story in your team page. As you're going through things, as you get those paychecks that blow your mind, as you pay off the credit card, whatever it is, as you just maybe buy a gift for your son for his birthday you didn't think you could afford, go share that with your team in your team's page. That's what they need to know. They need to know why to show up. Why Emerald? Why Diamond? Why 2-star Diamond? They don't care about the power hour until you show them why to care. And why is your results. your results, your paycheck. Go share those things with them. How is it changing your life, your marriage, your body, your self-love? How is all of this business impacting you? Go share that in your team page. Additionally, I will always say to share that on social media as well. That's something I've done from the beginning. Sharing those things on social media, because that's why people will continue to join you. They want results. They see your fitness results. What kind of business results are you sharing with them that's going to attract them to be on your team? Whether that's emotional, physical, mental, financial. You have to share business results with everybody. Host team trainings and communicate the training with your coaches. So you guys all have strong uplines. When your teams are having those Emerald Factory trainings or those Diamond trainings or whatever, make sure you are, tagging your coaches in it, but more importantly, messaging your coaches, especially if you have a small team and you can still handle that. Message those coaches. Say, hey, did you say this Diamond training's coming up? What do you think about that? How do you feel about it? I know you said you wanted to earn $1,000 a month. This would be a great next step for you. How do you feel about doing this training? See how they feel. Don't just say, hey, are you doing that training? Ask them how they feel. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're having some medical procedure. Ask them how they feel about it. Then when they take the training, cheer them on or host the training. Get with your upline, offer to host the training. I guarantee you, your upline is not going to care if you step up and you say, hey, I want to do this. I have this idea. Can I execute it? As long as you are willing to lead the way, your upline is going to be like, you are awesome. Absolutely execute that idea, because it's going to benefit everybody. And again, dig into your downline to get to know your PS coaches. When I started, one of my biggest downfalls, I have two from my first year that I regret highly. Number one, my first regret is not digging into my downline further. I stopped first level deep, and I'm so lucky that I got to 7-star that year. Like, I don't even know how that happened, but I stopped first level. Like, anyone below that, I was like, well, they're just like, they have their own coach. No. You help those people dig into your downline. Those coaches who need to get to Emerald, who need to get to Diamond, whatever it is, help those coaches too. Dig into your downline. My second regret is that I had the mentality for a really long time. I'm a runner. I just knew what to do. Everyone else should know what to do too. I had that mentality for 4 or 5 months into my first year as a coach in 2015. And I was just like, well, they should just know. Like, I gave them the training. Sometimes people just need encouragement. Usually when people are messaging you and they're saying, I don't know what to post, or I don't know how to do this, they really just need you to cheer them on. They just need you to build their confidence. They just need you to show them love. So don't jump to the conclusion so fast that they're being needy or they're being lazy. Because a lot of the times I've learned they just need that reassurance. So give them that. And also, don't be afraid to take the extra step in terms of, I do a new coach mentorship call every month that I thought was hand-holding in the beginning, because like, just do the coach training. It's all right there. But instead, I took it the extra step because I realized some people just need that live training face-to-face. So make sure that you dig, and that you also don't just count people out because they are not 100% your personality. They don't have those same characteristics. The next thing to do is to recognize your coaches. We underestimate this on so many levels. So I wanted to go over this in terms of recognizing. First off, as your team is growing, and maybe you're like, I don't have rank advancements, no one's hitting Success Club yet, my volume's low. Recognize the behaviors of new coaches, especially their first few months, just as much as the outcomes. So coming out as a post, like, recognize that behavior. They came out as a coach, like, good job. And make sure people know they're a new coach. They did this. That encourages other people to find that same courage. And they also realize, okay, good. Like, I need to do that. They just need that pat on the back to keep going. Recognize their transformation. You guys, this business is all about our health transformation. So recognize your coach's health transformations in the team page, on their timeline, wherever it is. Completing coach basics. So let me tell you this, because this is something I learned this year. My Coach Basics is a revolving group, and I'm happy to share. I have a YouTube video about my Coach Basics. It's a revolving Facebook group, and I've had it and I have not changed it since 2015, October, because that's when I began taking over my own training. Again, I was like 5-star plus diamond. And I haven't changed my Coach Basics since 2015, almost 2 years. This year, 2017, I started recognizing coaches who were completing it when they got to 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 lessons. And I have seen the completion rate go up tenfold. Like, it's insane. So recognize coaches for the behaviors as well, especially Coach Basics. Recognize them when they're inviting to your sneak peeks, when they're inviting to your challenge group sneak peeks. Just recognize as much as possible. Additionally, rank advancements. Make sure you're rank advancing on Thursday. And something I just told my team, don't ever forget this. When I was a new coach, I would wait for Thursday morning because I was so excited about rank advancing. And we tend to forget that, like, the longer we're in, we're like, well, it's just emerald, or like, if I said to any of you guys, it's just diamond, like that's soul crushing. When I became a diamond coach, I was like I was crazy excited that morning. I was like waiting for that announcement in my coach's team page. Recognize your coaches on Thursday mornings, like, get it done and get it out there, because I guarantee you some other coaches are sitting there at home like me and just waiting for that, which it's kind of funny because I'm not even that recognition driven at all, but it was just those things in the business that you were told as a new coach, hit these things, it's a big deal, and we buy into that. So when they do it, celebrate them, give them what they deserve. And additionally, if you are building the team and you are, further into this, you have a team that is building, recognize Success Club and Volume Weekly. If you have that time, number one, you need to be careful. This says advanced for a reason. You need to really evaluate your business, your time, your priorities, because I don't want you spending 20 minutes every week making a Success Club and Volume board when you should be inviting. So your inviting comes first, your social media comes first, and then you recognize people for Success Club and Volume Weekly if you have that time to do so as you are growing. Otherwise, just make a huge deal when they are tagged in your downline's recognition boards. That works as well. Send them a message. Hey, I saw you were on the leaderboard. Awesome job. Okay, so just don't waste time on Canva or PicMonkey or whatever you use. Just don't do that. It's unnecessary. All right. I'm almost done here, guys. Communication. I'm going to touch on this very quickly, and then just a few more things. Communication. So if you don't have a team page and you're kind of freaking out right now because you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have a team page. How do I do this? I want you guys to chill and take a big breath and know that life is going to be okay. All right. You don't need to go make a team page tonight with a brand and a picture and your mission and do all that. Okay. I'm not even telling you have to do it in the next 2 months. If you're a brand new diamond, I would recommend that you have a team message thread. So maybe you only have 2 working coaches. All right. So you're going to now have your team's working coaches message thread, whatever you want to call that. And you just have that message thread. And in that message thread, you can treat it the same way that you would kind of treat a team page. So maybe you're going to post some inspiration in there every day, or maybe you're going to post a little tip, whatever it is. Have that team message thread to have that communication and team spirit with your working coaches. And if you are actively recruiting, which hopefully you are, new business coaches, and maybe you have your own downline page now, that's great. But let's just say you have your downline page and you're actively, you have a big team. Have a new coach thread where you are communicating with your new coaches in that thread, because those people need a little extra attention. They also can really thrive in that small environment where they have other new coaches who are scared to cheer them on. So you could cheer them on in there, recognize them there, give them tips that maybe your entire downline doesn't need, and just use that as a way to increase communication and let them know that they are not alone as a new coach. So you can have like a 2017 message thread and cheer them on in there. And then lastly, do's and don'ts. I just wanted to finish up with this. And if you guys have any questions, you can put them in our diamond page. Remember, these are just the big things, right? These are the common things that I see. Don't try and branch out and create all your own training pages, content, all that stuff. Do the work as a team whenever possible. You guys are a part of teams. Work together. Do not manage or hover. Instead, lead by example. Go do your own work. Get it done and lead through your success. Let your success be the example. Instead of asking them, hey, like, are you doing this? Are you doing that? Like, lead through your own success. They're going to feel that pressure if you are managing over them. Do not bank on coaches getting to diamond or emerald. Instead, continue sponsoring new business coaches each month. Business coaches. Remember who I told you, like, count as coaches when you're looking at your downline? Business coaches. How many coaches did you have Success Club points last month? How many had at least 1 point? Those are your coaches. Do not force goals on your coaches. Remember, listen to them, what they want and what they need, and meet them where they're at. Don't just try and shove diamond down their throat if they're not ready for it. They will come around, I promise. Give people time. And again, yeah, don't confuse discount and business coaches. They are not the same thing. Don't wait for your discount coaches to become business coaches. I know there are amazing discount coaches, business coach success stories out there. I know, but do not ever think like that is going to be your entire team. Instead, focus on helping your challengers get awesome results, converting your challengers to coaches, or finding like-minded people through social media who also want to grow a coach business with you. So that is it. And again, you guys, we talk Star Diamond, we talk next level, we talk rank, but at the end of the day, this isn't about you and your rank. And you didn't grow up saying, I wanted to be a Star Diamond Beachbody coach, and you still don't. That's not what Star Diamond means. So always go back to that why, and always go look for other people out there who need this opportunity to change their life, just like it's changed mine, just like it's changed the coaches on my team, like the women I can now say have quit their jobs, who are building six-figure businesses. That is the coolest part of this business. Help your coaches succeed, and just keep sharing from the heart, guys. All right, post any questions you have in our page. This video will post for you guys, and then I will also share my onboarding video in that page as well. Bye, guys. Have a good night.